Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome back to the Foundry. I'm Johnny here with Slykiko, and today we are reviewing another episode of The Last of Us. We're finally back, my dude.
Damn right we are. About time.
Yeah, we are finally back. We are going to be checking out episode 3. Apologies for being very late. We're going to be hopping on more of this and some more of Andor Season 2, which we have yet to dive into. But yeah, hang tight there, Foundry Sluggos. We'll be on that stuff very shortly. But this is episode 3, The Path, right?
Yeah, and we are back on the path.
Yeah, exactly. Man, uh, bit of a kind of burner, just like a slow burn after like the major impact of episode 2. Joel gets killed off, and so does a lot of people watching the show. I'm assuming. The reactions of a lot of people who have not played the game. It's interesting, but kind of funny, to where it's just like, yeah, like they're like, oh man, like this turns. I feel like it's a weird and more like a live reaction, than people being like, oh, I didn't like it. What happened in the game? Like, oh, that sounds stupid. And then everyone's like, why the fuck would you kill off the main character of The Last of Us? And
a brilliant question, yeah.
that's what I really enjoyed seeing, like the reaction of all the people. Just like being like, yeah, exactly. And I would just tell everyone like, yeah, like my best friend stopped playing the fucking game because of it, Like that's how bad everyone was pissed off,
Yeah.
But there was a few different things that happened in today's episode than what happened in the game. So in the game, right after the death of Joel, Tommy took off to Seattle, and Dina and Ellie chased after him. And that's not what happened here.
It's kind of roles reversed.
Yeah, that's not what happened here. It's
wow. Yeah, no, Tommy's kicking back. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Like, your brother's gone.
Yeah, Tommy was like very just pretty much vengeful. Was like, I believe he like told Ellie to stay and like, hey, we'll roll out together as a team, or like in a day or like in a couple days, like once you like get to heal up or something, or like get over it. But like this all happened like in a matter of a week, like of her of Joel dying, which is like really different because like it's compared to a month later, or like what, 3 months, I believe.
A month is ridiculous.
Is that how long she was laid up in the hospital?
I think so, yeah.
Which it's different too. It's different because like she had a lot of time to process like his death and grief, and laid in the hospital bed, you're kind of stuck with your own thoughts. But like compared to the game, like she acted very fast on anger, and just felt nothing but rage, and like maybe just kind of wasn't able to process her emotions correctly.
That feels like her character, though. I mean, that's always been like her thing. She's not exactly a planner or someone that like thinks. Yeah, she just kind of jumps straight to her raw emotion.
Yeah, which the show did pretty well with that, because they're like, hey, by the way, excuse me, Jesse was like, we're gonna do a meeting thing, like write everything down. When he was like, I know how you are, write your shit down, which I thought was, man. I don't want to. I feel bad for dogging on her for her physical appearance. Like, she can't do anything about that. That's not her fault. I'm trying not to do that, but it's just like, it's just not a good role for her. Like, it's just not.
I'm telling you, they didn't do her any favors casting her for the role.
Every time she opens her mouth on the show, and like, candidly, I've seen the entire series so far. I know you've just watched 3,
Yes.
Episode 3.
3 was hard to watch, especially towards the end. I mean, her reaction to, a little scene in the forest. I was like, what the fuck, man? She didn't even say any lines. I just looked at her like this. I'm not feeling any emotion being conveyed.
Just her like geared up with like a bunch of like guns and everything. Yeah. I'm like, this looks stupid. This looks like a joke, like a little kid. And apparently she has some affliction, or I guess a disease where she doesn't age. So that's fucking hilarious that they cast. Yeah, apparently so. Bella Ramsey does. Because I was watching, and she asked her, is like, is she a burn victim? I'm like, wow. I'm like, no, I think that she just looks like that, like, because her face is very shiny.
damn it. You
I've
got the fish skin on her and everything.
I've
for her
been
cover.
I've been made fun of for having acne or something, but never have I ever been called a burn victim before.
I know, there's a new level of low. You're like, fuck. I can't come back from that one.
No, I thought that was like, god damn. Yeah, so apparently she cannot age. Like her, she stays not like it's not like Tuck Everlasting Twilight shit, you know. But like apparently it's not like very like
It's
visible.
not showing on her more
Yeah,
visibly than
which
anyone
is
else.
kind of hard to do because she still looks like what 15-year-old or 14-year-old Ellie and stuff.
I always thought she didn't even look right for the role when she was supposed to be playing a 12-year-old girl. I was always like, bro, something, it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's just her delivery of everything mixed with the way she looks, but neither of them were doing her justice.
yeah. Mainly with my issue with like her in season 1 is just like I felt like just the writing was kind of corny and bad, and I felt like she didn't have great chemistry with Joel. I felt like was a lot of it where she's like gonna be like the annoying kind of like little sister, you know, kind of thing, or like the annoying niece or something, you know. But she still like feels very annoying, and it's like this is supposed to feel like very somber, painful for her, and she's just kind of like, I'm a badass, you know. And they're just trying really hard to. Like, I get it, she's supposed to have a mask on, but it's like, dude, it's so fucking cringy. Her trying to, like, give off that that melancholy, like, kind of attitude it's just not
Punching
working.
bag bullshit. I can't,
Yeah.
It's awful.
It's just very cringy, and it just does not work for her, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
It feels awkward.
it is awkward. It's a hard watch. It's, like you said, it is a hard watch, because it just doesn't work, you know? Like, it is what it is. Like, we can't keep bitching about, like, you know, like, hey, fucking, she's not great for the show. It's fine. Like you said, the best part of the show is probably Seth, Mr. Sandwich Maker. I like how he gave his gun, too. That doesn't excuse him for being a bigot, you know?
Yeah.
But,
no, I agreed. It definitely doesn't, but I was like, wow, how is it that the character that was supposed to be, like, such, like, a side little character, insignificant,
stand on
delivered the most
Community.
convincing? Yeah, and, like, he legit felt the most in character of any person.
Angry,
in this
you know?
entire episode. I was like, there's the genuine rage and, like, upset emotion hitting you of, like, man, why are we letting this slide? Why
Yeah.
are any of you able to go to sleep at night and be like, you know what? Yeah, this makes sense to me. What?
I didn't know. Yeah, I guess he was in the game. I didn't know that. It's just like he makes a fantastic point too, because like I didn't even think about that. He's like, hey, if they can do this to any of us, like then we're all on the chopping block, you know? Because if there's no like, you gotta fight for your community, and you know, I think like also like it's a big change, you know, the whole having the communal kind of meeting and the vote and stuff like that.
Oh, the council? Was
Yeah,
that
the
not in
council.
game?
No, it was not. It was not in the
Interesting.
game. I believe they didn't even talk to Maria at first. Maria approached Ellie and she's like, "Hey, Tommy's gone. Like, she's like, here's a horse. Go after him. Go get him." I'm pretty sure Maria sent them on that mission because like Tommy was on to go avenge his brother and shit like that. So throughout like most of the time in Seattle, they're looking for Tommy. And
see, I kind of like that plot line a little bit more because it feels more in character of like that's that Miller side of Tommy and Joel that they both had.
Hotheads.
They're scary dudes.
Yeah,
They're fucking terrifying.
yeah,
man.
they're fucking ham fist motherfuckers, dude.
For
I mean,
real.
like they've been through the apocalypse for 25 years for a goddamn reason, you know. Like Joel, you can tell that Joel went through some stuff, and he's not proud of it either. But like he's grown a lot as a person, but like still deep down, like deep at the core, like there's still inklings of a man who did all those bad things to survive.
That man is still in there if he needs to be awoken, 100%.
Yeah.
And Tommy more or less is like a, you know, he always was the little brother to Joel, but shit, he's not exactly like a knockoff of, you know, what his brother accomplished. He's still intimidating. I know from all heard about the game that he's pretty much like a one-man wrecking crew taking out Abby's like members and shit. So I'm
Yeah,
like, I
he's
don't know if
he's
that's-
fantastic in the game. Which like even in the episode 2 of him going all solo and like leading the charge, like he did awesome. Like he's the fucking goat. of episode 2. Like, he does so cool. I was like, man, he's fucking lit, man. He's really good. They the community, the fucking little council, they just said like, no, we're not gonna go out there, which dude, I just can't even like look at her with her hair down, just trying to look like a normal person. I'm just like,
I hate it with them,
I'm like, oh man, this
she needs a little samurai bun, half up, half down, that like the game had. I think that kind of helps with that weird
maybe,
awkwardness.
and yeah, her face, her eyes are so dark. It's just like it's a terrible fit. It's terrible, man. It's Ryan Gosling as Black Panther terrible, dude. It's not a good fit. It just makes it so much hard. Like when I'm watching, like, all right, that was pretty bad. But then it's like, also, it's her saying these lines, like on screen. And I'm like, nah, it's really bad because the writing's pretty terrible.
Her delivery's dog shit. No,
Dina's whatever. She's just kind of there. She's, I guess, supposed to be a foil for Ellie. And she'll just say something, and Ellie just acts like a 15-year-old. What the fuck, dude? Are you kidding me, bro? Like, it's
exactly
just,
how it is.
Yeah, the cookies thing was funny and lighthearted. It's a weird mix of like, hey, it's really like serious, and it's like weirdly lighthearted. But I feel like the Ellie's character isn't really taking it that serious. It's just like it just doesn't mix very well, you know? I know some people will take certain situations that are super serious and try to break it up, you know? I'm one to do that. Like, if the house is flooding, you know, kind of thing, it's like, well, I guess we need a mop, you know? Like, just to try to break the tension a little bit, you know? It's not fucking funny, but, like, that's just effort, you know? They try to make it, ease it up a little bit. And I don't really get the vibe that's what that is. She just acts stupid. She acts like a stupid person. And I don't know why the writing does that either, because she's not stupid. Like, she grew up in the apocalypse. She grew up alone, you know? Like, her being in Jackson and having Joel as the first bit of, like, reassurance and, like, I guess a bit of a, like, comfort, you know, to be herself and let her hair down, you know, be a part of a community and be a kid and stuff. You know, but, like, of course she was at the military school thing, but, like, she was, you know, it was still fucking hard days for her.
True. I think one of my biggest gripes about this episode actually isn't something involving Ellie. It's the softball little league.
Oh yeah, where the therapist and Tommy.
Felt so out of place. I was sitting there watching it and I was like, is this actually a show about the apocalypse and like its aftermath and how it affects like the lives of people? Like, this looks like a regular fucking Sunday pickup league for kids. I'm like, this looks like nothing is wrong.
Yeah, it's like a month ago, everyone was dead. Like, like, think about the beginning shot of the show of like all the burning bodies in the middle of town and shit like that, and then there we go. And there's that.
For real. Yeah, I was like watching that. I was like, wait, I thought it was an ad for a second. I was like, oh, okay. And then I saw Tommy and I was like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What?
I like that therapist role. She's pretty good. She's pretty.
I like her character and I like the role.
I just the baseball game just threw me off. I was like, okay, like everything seems a little too blasé, too fine. And
yeah.
I get normalcy is probably something that's highly coveted, especially in a world where everything's fucking bleak and dark and your standard of living is literally, am I gonna get fucking infected today? Or like, are we gonna get raided? But it just seemed way too, you know, like way too regular life.
No, I feel you 100%. But I think that's a good complaint right there to have. Maybe not even a complaint, but it's just like, hey, I didn't like that, you know? Like, this is like the thing. It's like, hey, the show did this, like, just because we don't like a softball game doesn't mean the show did it wrong, you know? That's just kind of like, again, like our personal opinions on a lot of the stuff. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are enjoying the show. There's a couple of things that I am, like, enjoying kind of like in retrospect, you know, about some pieces of it. Like, me, honestly, I never thought I would get to this point, but me watching the entire season of the show makes me want to replay the game, and I have a whole new appreciation for it. You know?
Really? Is that because of disappointment of the show?
Yes, and how it's rushed and how the writing is, and I think about like certain things. Like I think it's an interesting story. I don't like how they pulled that off though in the game. Like,
Yeah.
I never thought the story was shit. Like, if you're going to kill off that main character, we're going to go on a revenge story. And it's like, I think it's really interesting how they try to force you to enjoy the company of this other character and humanize them and whatnot.
Yeah.
But then, like, still towards the end, very end, even though, like, they try to get humanized and they're shown, like, a different perspective, and you think that they're doing better, they're still at root, at core, just like Joel, they're an evil, nasty fucking person who, like, who the anger and the vengeance, like, it overrules, you know? Like,
That was my issue with the game. I mean, I remember when Neil Druckmann came out and said, like, you know, we wanted people to feel empty and hollow after playing it. I was like, you fucking succeeded at that, man. This is a game that's very much miserable when you walk away at the end and you're like, why the fuck did I do any of this?
yeah, I mean, that's how you feel after playing the second game. It's just like, well, that was fucking pointless, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, like, there's a reason for it, but it just still feels like a waste of time. Like, it's an interesting story, but it's just there's a couple gripes about it. I mean, like, no one wants to see Joel gone, though. That's like the main thing. Is like,
Yeah.
no one wanted him to see him gone, and it's just like they had trailers with him in it. Like, they lied.
Oh, true.
Like,
yeah.
they straight up fucking lied. I remember
For the
like
game or
seeing
the
some
show? Which
for
one are you
for
talking
the
about?
for the game. Like, they straight up had
Yeah.
trailers of her and him, like, in forests and stuff like that, and he's not
They
actually
psyched everyone up,
Yeah. kind of like
He's gone.
I know they did that in some Thunderbolt scenes as well for trailers.
Oh, don't even get me started on that. Yeah, that one I can let it slide because I was like, you know what, it didn't. Need... But with this one, I'm like, dude, it's fucking Joel. It's your main protagonist from your first fucking game.
Yeah.
How are you gonna like so early on too? It's not even like a midway point, like 3/4 of the way, so that it hits you. But it's literally just from like they just pull the rug out from under your feet, and you're left with this underwhelming feeling because you're following a character that you kind of don't give a shit about. And the only thing that's gonna redeem it is like them avenging someone.
Yeah.
And the idea that that might not even happen, why do any of it? Why?
They also, they introduced the Seraphites extremely early in the show as well, and it was very weird because they're like, they had them very watered down. They made you see like very peaceful and just kind of like kind people, and they showed the massacre.
Scars on their face. I was expecting like radicalists and shit.
Yeah, that's exactly what they are. Like, they're a spooky, scary cult that like kill people on the spot when they get seen, and they're almost like the Amish, you know, where they don't like current technology and shit like that. That's kind of their
hence the
deal.
hammers and shit.
Yeah, and like I remember one of the very first trailers we reacted. It was me and Marak and I. We reacted to it, and it was very early, and it was just a gruesome scene. I think between wolves and the Seraphites just fucking fighting like an ambush in the woods, and it was a violent just display.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was interesting, but like that's who they are. They're just violent as fuck.
I was initially excited when I saw the Seraphites because I was like, dude, like, are we gonna see like a cool little like skirmish or something, or like someone get jumped? Like,
No, not shit
no,
happened in
once
this
again,
episode.
Yeah, off-camera explanation. I'm like, dude, I hate when directors do things like that for shows. When they're like, oh yeah, here's this big thing. By the way, happens off screen. You're gonna hear about it, or you're left to imagine. I don't want to imagine, dude. I don't want to imagine. Show me.
Yeah, it had been a little bit of combat and whatnot would have been just fine, you know.
Yeah,
Or maybe show the massacre like at the next episode. What I think would have been a lot better, because honestly, the reveal for the very end of this episode, where they like zooms out and you see all the fucking soldiers going marching down the street, I think that's fucking crazy. And then they show Dina and Ellie like reacting to the massacre, and then maybe show the massacre in the goddamn intro of the show, you know, as a little prologue.
Right.
You know, because I feel like capping off the episode with like the all the wolves walking down the street, I feel like that's like, all right, that's what they got, that's what they're up against. Like, good fucking
I
luck.
know, yeah, that was ridiculous. I saw the entire WLF and I was like, wait, hold on. Now I'm confused. I'm like, you telling me this giant fucking legion is where Abby is? I was like, I thought Abby was extremist little group that like split away of like 6 assholes. I was like, I thought that's what we were dealing with here.
No. Nope, she is a part of a larger cell within that group that are like extremely militarized and shit. It kind of really didn't look like it, but like they actually have their shit together like really fucking well.
It looked like it, dude. I was like, they got freaking armed vehicles
Yeah,
again, like the
matching
first season and
outfits.
shit. Matching outfits, similar helmets. Like they've got legit gear, and
Yeah.
they walk in like a synchronized fashion. Like they're coordinated, dude. That takes time and discipline.
Yeah, they're highly trained for that shit. So, and then you got fucking dipshit fucking Ellie who can barely hold a rifle by herself because it's
I know.
twice her size.
Yeah, I'm kind of concerned. I'm like, either they're gonna Mary Sue this shit with Ellie every scene they get a chance, or they're gonna off-screen everything, or there's gonna be a convenient solution to all this problem.
Yeah. I mean, it's so like it's just like her and then the one scene of Jesse in the previous episodes where they're training and she's like, "Don't pull back punches," and I'm like, "Oh my god, like you're so fucking cringy, dude. Like you're so
I
it's
hate
so
every scene with her and Jesse.
it's
to be
so
honest.
lame. He's kind of like robotic.
Yeah, the punching bag scene in this episode, I was like, this is stupid. Just get out of here.
What was it? Tommy's kind of like a robot as well. Like he doesn't really have much emotion. He's just like assumes the role of like man does good thing, cares for people, and it's like the thing about like TV shows, say like Mad Men for example, the main character John Hamm, that character.
Don Draper, right?
Yeah, Don Draper. He's excellent. He's smart. He's brilliant. He's hardworking. He's ambitious, but at times he's lazy. He's an alcoholic. He has faults. He wants the shiniest thing in the room, kind of thing, like that. You know,
Yeah.
like that's the thing. It's like it shines on all these great things, but also you get to see people at their faults, and you know. And it's like Tommy can be this great like leader that everyone looks up to and loves and protective, but like let the man fucking crash out and go on a fucking killing spree for the wolves or something. I think that would have been really interesting there. I feel like it would have been a lot better just kind of resolved, you know, like maybe it would have been better, maybe not, you know. I think that would have been a fun option to explore if they stayed true to the game, you know, and did that. But overall, not a super great episode, you know, just kind of there, moving the plot along. The relationship between Ellie and Dina's weird, yeah.
I don't like it. It feels so awkward.
Yeah, she just does not have good chemistry with anyone. And it's like at the same time, it's like, hey, she's got, like, she feels awkward with these what am I trying to say? She feels awkward. She has a crush on her, or she feels awkward. Like for example, there's a couple of people in Horizon that Aloy is like has really shitty dialogue with. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? I'm like, that was lame. Like, that dialogue was terrible. And then people are like, no, she actually has a crush on her, and that's why she's acting really nervous and awkward because she has a crush. I'm like, oh. I'm like, I didn't get that. I didn't understand that. But I'm like, but,
I'm not
okay.
picking up on it.
Yeah, like, I could understand if that's the point, but if they conveyed it a little bit better. But and maybe the same thing for them. If they conveyed it a little bit better, then
Right.
I'd be able to pick up on it and shit. But I'm like, clearly she got a crush on her. I guess
Not
we'll...
a lot of positive things to say about this one, unfortunately.
No. What else is there? Is there anything else that kind of picked up at you?
Not really. Nothing else that really stands out to me.
Yeah, it's a meh episode. It was there. When I watched it, I was like, that wasn't terrible. Like that was okay. You know, we got through it, and I wasn't that mad watching it. So that's a win. Yeah, but yeah, I guess we'll go down to the number of reviews for this episode, guys. I'm gonna give it a solid, I guess, a 6. You know, it wasn't maybe a 6.5. I go 6.5, I guess, because it's not like that terrible. It's just kind of like it is what it is, and I should base it off of that. You know.
You know what? I can back up the 6. The 6 feels kind of on the money. It's not awful, but it's definitely nothing to write home about. It's not an episode that you know what? Let me go back and see if there's some appreciated. No, there's no.
Yeah. Well, there you guys go. That is our episode 3 of The Last of Us Season 2. Foundry giving it a big ol' 6. But yeah, thanks you guys for joining us for another review. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave some support for the slugs and let us know what you guys thought about the episode yourselves down below in the comments. I will see you guys later for some more Andor reviews and some more The Last of Us in the near future. But until then, bye slugs.
Bye.